Professional wrestling is the one true sport. Other sports have their share of intense, dramatic moments, but nothing can compare with professional wrestling. Welcome to Wrestling History X, where three friends come together to talk about the stories behind the matches. I'm Matt.
I'm Lawrence Taylor Thomas.
And I'm Shaney McCarthy.
Welcome to episode 147, Wrestlemania 11.
Wrestlemania 11.
Where is Pamela Anderson?
That's about as good a tagline as we could have got from them. They didn't have a tagline for this show.
Yeah. Hey.
I guess. No
tag needed.
Yeah, Vince was like, it's 11.
The bigger question is, where is Salt and Pepper?
Oh, yeah.
You know what? You know what I did?
It's called Vince Doesn't Want to Pay for Those Rights.
I know, but I looked it up on, I think it was on like Vimeo or something like that, clip, and they actually changed the lyrics to be about like Lawrence Taylor. And I was like, this is great. Why? I wish this was on the show. I highly suggest everybody looks it up. Salt and Pepper.
Salt and Pepper, yeah.
Yeah, look it up. Look up the Salt and Pepper song. Well, maybe we'll put it in the show. Who knows?
Doubtful.
Probably not. It's good though.
I'm trying to remember what song was it.
It was What a Man.
What a Man. Yeah, it's
but
what
it was different lyrics.
Yeah, they just changed the verses up to be like about Lawrence Taylor being awesome and stuff. So it was fun. But it's like, just pay the money. Salt and Pepper. I mean, I don't know if they could use the money. Probably.
Yeah, I mean,
at that point, they probably did.
At that point, they have no.
Peppa's got her wig line, so.
Oh, does she?
I think she's doing good. She's doing all right.
Yeah, they're smart ladies. I'm sure they invested well.
But this was the 11th WrestleMania, produced by WWF. It took place on April 2nd, 1995, at the Hartford Civic Center in Hartford, Connecticut, with an attendance of 16,305, with a buy rate of 340,000 people.
When they're in this is the first time WrestleMania has been in Vinnie Mac's backyard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we've been to Connecticut before, but like WrestleMania is like, we didn't even have to get on an airplane. This is cool.
Just down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Connecticut.
But we are in Connecticut.
We are.
So what deliciousness did Shane O'Mac bring us this week?
Well, we've been on this journey now for a while, trying different foods from different places, and I did as I usually do, where I looked up the official sandwich of Connecticut, and it is the Connecticut-style lobster roll. So, obviously here in Oklahoma, we have lots of lobster selections.
Lots.
We are as landlocked as it possibly gets.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's any natural lakes in this state. Maybe one.
Yeah.
My mom would be able to answer.
I couldn't tell you. But yeah, I looked up lobster roll options here in Oklahoma, and we do have a few that are pretty tasty that I've had. One of them was not available that I have a close link to. Another one was available, but it was not the right style. And then I remembered a conversation that Matt and I had once upon a time about a food truck that specializes in lobster rolls, and decided to give them a little visit. Cousin's Maine Lobster. It's a national franchise, or possibly even worldwide, I don't know. They've been featured on Shark Tank and Good Morning America and Katie Couric Show. But essentially, they have mastered the technique of...
And now Wrestling History X. Boom.
Yeah. Thank us, cousins.
Exactly, cousins. And, I'm not going to lie. The pictures that they have on the food truck, everything looks awesome. They've got lobster rolls. They've got...
And they have both styles as well.
Yes. They've got the traditional style and the Connecticut style.
What's the difference in the styles?
Warm and cold.
Yes, and mayonnaise and no mayonnaise.
Oh, okay.
They also have
the Connecticut
bisque.
Connecticut style is
warm with butter and lemon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The traditional style is going to be with a touch of mayonnaise to it and served cold.
Okay.
oftentimes still with a little bit of butter or lemon.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've got lobster bisque. They have some tater tots that they dress up with lobster as well, kind of like a nachos or loaded fries or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, decided to give them a try and got there right, unfortunately, towards closing time, so I had to be that guy.
Being on the plus side, lobster roll, pretty easy. There's like
2 ingredients.
It's like butter, mayonnaise, lemon.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
You got to get it right, because if you fuck it up, then what the hell is the point? Not only is the person pissed because they have to go find something else, but they also just spent a good amount of money on it.
The trick is cooking the lobster correctly, so it's not tough.
Yeah, making sure that it's not tough, making sure that it's done. You want it to have a nice bright pink color to it, be still somewhat translucent, not too chewy.
Yeah, I've had some chewy lobster.
Definitely don't want chewy lobster.
But yeah, they Cousins Maine Lobster, they know their shit.
It was great. I've never had a lobster.
It's very simple but delicious, and they don't skimp on the lobster too. I mean, there's some nice fat pieces in here. I'm holding on to part of a claw right now, so.
I ate half a sandwich and it was very satisfying.
Yeah,
it was like
very
a whole bunch of protein and a little bit of bread.
Best kind of sandwich.
I want to have one of that. There you go, Cousins. Thank you so much.
Yeah, they get my seal of approval.
Well, while we're still chewing on our delicious lobster rolls,
our sea bugs,
the same weekend, Tommy Boy would be released to theaters.
What the fuck?
Road. You know, where they get high in the car on accident. I say road over and over again. I think about that a lot. I did not see this in the theater. I was pretty young in '95, but I remember my dad worked overnights, and they'd be like testing airplanes or whatever. So they were basically hanging out in a trailer all night, and the guys would like rent movies and just put them on because they had to like kill time while they were running tests on an airplane. And he saw Tommy Boy and thought it was the funniest thing ever, and then like went out of his way to rent it and show it to like me and my sister, and probably seen this movie. If nobody's only seen this movie once.
No,
like it's impossible. It's so good that they tried to do it again with Black Sheep, which is good. It's just not as good.
It's not Tommy Boy.
It's not. It's just like it's not. It didn't. It's just an imitation.
Yes.
Still serviceable, but if you're gonna do a Spade and Farley, you go straight to Tommy Boy.
Yes.
This movie always great.
When you go Farley or Spade at any point, you go to Tommy Boy.
And there's just so many classic moments in here. I always also think
Police
of
Academy 4.
Police Academy 4 is the best one, right?
It's David Spade.
Is David Spade in that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
The scene where his like love interest girl yells at the kids on the beach. The movie's just I mean, what is there to say about Tommy?
Housekeeping. Who doesn't do that?
Yeah, the fat guy in a little coat.
Yeah.
Fat guy in a little coat. Yeah.
I still use this line to this day. You look like a Helen. Yeah.
Oh man, I almost watched Tommy Boy the other day. I like turned on a streaming service and I was like, oh, Tommy Boy's like right there.
Yeah, that's one of those. I mean, you had Tommy Boy, you had Billy Madison. Those were my two of my go-to movies back in the day.
Also, this is a movie that's like not. It's like you could show it to a kid because it's not a like raunchy comedy.
No,
it's just really funny. Like Dumb and Dumber is a little raunchy, but it doesn't go too far or anything. But like this is fairly clean cut. Like the beginning of the movie starts and it like he had just hit a bong, but they don't actually show him smoke weed, so it's just like they made sure that this that Chris Farley was for the whole family.
Let's not forget that the world once again was introduced or reintroduced after Wayne's World to the comedic genius of Rob Lowe.
Oh
because,
yeah, Rob Lowe.
He was mostly just a pretty boy sex symbol back in the day, and once the '90s hit, he had to figure stuff out because he couldn't fall back on that as much after some of the trouble he had gotten into back in the '80s. So.
Yeah, and then Bo Derek and why can't I remember his name?
Brian
Dennehy, so good.
Yeah,
Callahan Auto and the somebody called the meat wagon. I mean, I don't know if you haven't seen Tommy Boy. We haven't ruined a thing. I promise.
Nope.
So the movie's too good to ruin.
If you want a steak, you don't look up a...
Oh, what is it? Yeah, something about sticking your hand in a cow's ass or whatever. Yeah. He gets it wrong at one point. I don't know. I don't know what to say about time.
He's a maniac.
He is a maniac. Where he's hitting him with the gas.
Shut up, Richard.
Yeah. Brothers don't shake hands.
Brothers gotta hug.
Did you eat paint chips as a kid?
No, why?
We literally could sit here and just keep quoting this movie, but let's go ahead and start talking some wrestling, where we see the WWF logo come on the screen before showing highlights of the previous WrestleManias, including all of the celebrities.
Yeah, I love that it's like WrestleMania 1, and then it like shows like 20 seconds of a clip, and then they go WrestleMania 2, and they just like it's very funny. It's like they didn't have to do that. Didn't have to do that.
We got a bunch of football players.
Mm-hmm.
We get the WrestleMania 11 logo, which is not good.
No,
by any means.
It's just purple, right?
Yeah, it's purple basically. It's
purple.
Basics.
I mean, it looks different than all the other ones, that's for sure, but it doesn't look good. And then it says starring. It literally says starring.
Yeah.
Yep.
As if it was a movie.
Yeah.
And not a predetermined sporting event.
But we're going to have Pamela Anderson, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Jenny McCarthy, Nick Turturro, Salt and Peppa, and Lawrence Taylor's All-Pro team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean...
It's pretty studded, man.
Once upon a time, they only needed Euchre. Now they need a whole team.
We then see the crowd, and we zoom in on the ring where Vince is trying to welcome us to the show, but his mic isn't working.
Foreshadowing.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's some mic issues on the show.
But he finally gets one that works to send it to the stage area by the entrance, where Special Olympian Kathy Huey sings America the Beautiful.
That girl can fucking sing.
She sings the hell out of it. It's pretty wild. Yeah. It's just like, it's doesn't quite fit a wrestling event, but it is honestly probably one of the best ones we've got because it is an interesting spectacle.
Yeah, it's one of those
in all of it in
Susan Boyle moments, or is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you aren't expecting this powerful voice to come out of this teeny tiny little thing, and that girl can sing.
And I was like, I don't know if she's blind or what. I'm not trying to guess her ailments, but she's a Special Olympian, but it's pretty crazy. I was like, damn, this is wild. She really goes for it.
But here's the bigger thing. Great. She was not the first choice.
Oh?
As the band Fishbone had been promoted for the show.
We were going to get a ska version of it? That would have been sick.
They literally promoted it on TV, but Vince finally heard their rendition, and he went, nope.
He's like, yeah, we are doing the national anthem. We're not going to Roseanne Barr this.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know Fishbone. Or wait, I guess I probably did, but I didn't remember.
Don't remember it
now.
That's pretty funny. But yeah, Vince was like, no, we're not going to do a rock and roll national anthem. Even though it's like, what did you expect a band to do?
Yeah,
like it's like if they have guitars, that's what's going to happen.
We're only a few years away from moving towards
some big names,
some metal bands taking care of all of our music. So
yeah, I mean, WWE gets very new metal at some point.
Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, it's gonna be great.
Even at this point, like recent NXT stuff is like there's like the theme song for our show. It's like some new metal-esque song typically. It's not quite 2002 new metal, but it still sounds like new metal to me. I don't know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Flo Rida is very talented, but he's had enough WrestleMania songs or SummerSlam songs. It's time to...
Speaking of WrestleMania songs, I love the WrestleMania theme for this show. It's a great one.
You talking just the
instrumental?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's just so.
I always think of
so
that
cheesy.
As like
it feels
Linda
even
McMahon's song.
Yeah, it feels like it feels like late '80s or super early '90s. It doesn't even fit for '95. I don't feel like, but it's great.
Well, they used it for like 5 years in a row.
Okay, I guess that's why I liked it so much, because it's just been with me. But I was just like, man, this is getting me going.
Vince finally has a mic that's working, and he's there with Jerry the King Lawler to preview the show. But then we head to our first match. The allied powers of Lex Luger and the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith versus the Blue Brothers of Eli and Jacob Blue with Uncle Zebekiah.
Yeah, I thought Zebekiah. I thought it was Zebekiah too, because you hear that name all the time. But Zebekiah, it's like, why add the K? You know what everybody's thinking.
So Uncle Zeb is Dutch Mantel, who we haven't seen since Great American Bash 1990, episode 46.
And that mustache has just continued to grow and grow and grow and grow.
You know what my first thought was when they announced this match? It's like, oh, no, fucking old Lexi done fucked up. First match on WrestleMania.
The main event last year, one of them.
And, like, I know that we all know Davey Boy Smith done fucked up, so it is what it is. He's just lucky to be here. But old Lexi done fucked up.
Yeah, but hey, they have almost matching tights, so they're almost a team. They have cool. It's like one's got a British flag. They look good together. Dug their little theme music too.
They look great together. I mean, it's fucking Lex Luger and British Bulldog. Like, they look great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a brawl breaks out to start, with the Allied powers sending the brothers into each other before hitting stereo power slams and clotheslines, followed by a double team back elbow on Jacob.
Yeah, that stereo power slam, Lex kind of slipped on that one.
Yeah, he almost landed on top of everybody.
Yeah, almost dropped his blue on top of Davey.
Bulldog keeps it up with a vertical suplex on Jacob for a 2 count, but the brothers go for a double clothesline, only for Davey Boy to duck and return off the ropes with a double clothesline of his own. Eli's now in with a clothesline, which Bulldog ducks, only for Jacob to deliver a shot from the apron for the Blues to gain control. Davey Boy cradles up Jacob when he comes in, but the ref is getting Luger back into his corner, allowing Eli to come in and make the save. Eli with a side suplex for a 2 count, followed by the brothers delivering a double big boot to Davey Boy. Bulldog starts firing up with a clothesline that sends Jacob to the floor, only for Eli to jump in the ring to hit a big boot to stop the momentum. Eli then whips Davey Boy to the corner and charges in, only to meet the boot of Bulldog. But Jacob tags in to hit a body slam and heads to the second rope, only to miss an elbow drop, allowing Davey Boy to crawl to his corner for the hot tag. Lex comes in with a knee lift, clothesline, and power slam on Eli. Knocks Jacob off the apron before delivering the bionic forearm to Eli. But Jacob is able to make it in to break up the pin, only to be chased off by Bulldog. Uncle Zeb then jumps on the apron, which distracts Luger, allowing Jacob and Eli to switch places in their ring, because they're twins. So when Lex makes the cover, it's only for a 2 count. Dun, dun, dun. Jacob then goes for a pile driver, but it's in Luger's corner. So he's able to make a tag, allowing Davey Boy to come in off the top rope with a sunset flip for the pin and the win.
Cute little finish.
A little quicker than I thought, or not, I shouldn't say quicker. Not the way I would have expected it to end, but...
Hey. You thought the Blue Brothers were going to win?
No, I mean
they were undefeated.
I wasn't expecting the sunset flip to be the deal.
I wasn't either, honestly.
Jim Ross catches up with Uncle Zeb in the aisle, or at least that's what we're told, as it's completely dark and we can't see what they're
having some issues here in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And Zeb starts complaining that they pinned the wrong guy.
They were hornswoggled.
They technically did, but that's their own fault, really.
For trying to get slick.
Yep.
But this is the first time we've seen Jim Ross since Survivor Series 93, episode 106. He did radio WWF for a while. He then got fired. Went and did some Memphis stuff.
What did he get canned for?
Because
being
too southern.
Oh, really?
They brought him back whenever Vince was gone, and now he's kind of
here forever.
Here doing this, and he'll be around for a while.
A little bit.
Vincent sends us to the back where Nick Turturro's in the green room, but his mic isn't working, so we can't hear a thing. But all of a sudden, he's joined by Jenny McCarthy, who Vince actually says is Pamela Anderson, and like, how do you get your playmates messed up like that?
Yeah, they look wildly
Look
different.
at him trying to cover his track. He doesn't know who is who.
Yeah.
But we also see Nikolai Volkoff behind them, who we haven't seen since Royal Rumble 92, episode 66, and the Supreme Fighting Machine, who we haven't seen since WrestleMania 8, episode 68, as Papa Shango.
New coat of paint.
That's
for,
right. He's gone from the mystical to just being
a fighting machine.
The Supreme Fighting Machine.
He'll become a Supreme Pimp at some point in his career. I love that when the audio issues are all messed up, Vince just does this like horrifically fake laugh, which we've all heard before, where he's like, ha 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 ha. It's so
and
good.
Everybody in the back's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, they're like, that last ha was through a grimace.
Yeah. Each ha is the number of people I'm firing when I get back there.
Mm-hmm.
We then go to 1-2-3 Kid and Razor Ramon to say some words, and there's still more mic issues, but we finally do hear Kid basically say he's going to keep the Roadie at bay.
Yeah, the Kid's now like wearing
Bangs.
with bangs, but he also has like he's wearing like it looks like
His
like
karate
Japanese
gear.
pajamas.
Yeah.
It's very funny. It's
Well,
a karate thing, but it looks more like silk pajama like robe.
Well, WCW had their little martial arts match last time, so he had to have his.
I mean, he does a lot of
follow
kicks.
up with it. Ming
does
couldn't
well.
be the only one that went out there looking
Karate.
quote unquote
Karate.
authentic.
Yeah.
But we then head to our second match. Jeff Jarrett with the Roadie versus Razor Ramon with 1-2-3 Kid for the WWF Intercontinental Championship. The champion came out first. Foreshadowing. So Ramon and the Kid rush the ring, but Razor is stopped by the dozen photographers at ringside momentarily. But the bell rings as soon as he is in there, clearing the ring.
The amount of photographers here is comical.
Yeah.
It's like, are they real? Are they not real?
They are real.
They got hella extras.
The Lawrence Taylor being here
Oh.
got them a lot of mainstream
I mean,
attention.
That was the point. Lawrence Taylor is really
exactly
cool.
the point.
And he's extra cool right now here in 1995.
But these photographers do get in the way quite often.
Yeah, they're like all up on the mat throughout this show and certain stuff. And I'm like, I kept waiting for it to be like, what show was it where the photographer with like the fake
I remember.
beard,
I don't remember
he's on
exactly
the
what
apron,
show,
blah blah blah. But I was like waiting for that to happen at some point in the show because there were so many of them. It seemed comical.
Pyro then goes off with them standing in the ring before the match gets going, when Double J gets back into the ring. And Ramon starts laying it in with right hands and a clothesline to send Jarrett back out to the floor, where Double J trips up Razor before sliding back in to take control with a sunset flip. But Ramon stays up and punches down. Roadie then gets on the apron to deliver a shot to Razor, only for the Jarrett Irish whip to be reversed, but Double J is able to stop short of being hit, followed by Ramon hitting a right hand that sends Jarrett into the Roadie, knocking him down to the floor. Razor with a roll-up for 2, then sets up for his finisher, getting Double J lifted up, only for the Roadie to pull him down
A little
to
early.
the floor.
A little early.
Slipping down.
Jarrett starts to take a walk to the back, but the Karate Kid, 1-2-3 Kid, stops him and tosses him back into the ring, where Ramon gets another roll-up for a near fall.
I must say, Razor and Jarrett, they just fucking got some chemistry, dog.
Yes.
I mean,
I kept thinking that the entire time, like, this is great. This is really good.
I mean, it was good last time. It's great here. It's like, I didn't realize how great Jeff Jarrett was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe they were both at the high point in their addictions, and they were just like blending together.
Yeah, they did exactly the same amount of drugs.
Or maybe they hadn't hit their addictions yet, and they
that's
were
why,
both just like, boom.
I mean, this is the IC.
Fuck you,
This is
Shawn
the
Michaels.
IC title.
This is how you do it.
This is the first like big match on the show. You better knock it out.
Mm-hmm.
Double J starts firing up by sending Razor into a corner and choking him, followed by the Roadie getting involved in it as well, before Jarrett tries for a body guillotine, only for Ramon to move in time. The Roadie jumps on the apron again to try for a clothesline, but Razor ducks, then slams his head into the turnbuckle, followed by tossing Jarrett over the ropes to the floor.
I know, the fucking crowd pops for it, and Jarrett he really just throws himself out there. It's great.
Double J rolls back in to have Ramon send him to the ropes, only to telegraph the backdrop, allowing Jarrett to hit a swinging neckbreaker, a pair of drop kicks, and a body guillotine. After tossing Razor from corner to corner, Double J misses an enziguri, only to then move out of the way of an elbow drop to stay in control with a headlock. Ramon then elbows his way out, countering a hip toss into a backslide for a 2 count, but Jarrett then counters with a clothesline, followed by a sleeper, only for Razor to quickly shove him off. We get a whiplash by Double J for a near fall, before going back to the headlock, which Ramon escapes with a side suplex, and both men are down. Once back to their feet, Razor starts running the ropes, only for the 2 men to bump heads for a double KO. But back up, the 2 men start delivering double punches for another double KO, and the crowd is getting restless. Ramon crawls over and makes a cover for a 2 count, but then fires up with right hands before catching Jarrett for going for a crossbody and turning it into a fall-away slam for a near fall. Discus punch by Razor, and then the Kid tries to crotch Double J on the ring post, but he's kicked off into the guardrail. Ramon climbs the ropes to go for a bulldog, but Jarrett moves out of the way and starts working the leg with a knee breaker before putting the figure 4 on, even getting some leverage help from the Roadie. Razor's struggling, but he finally gets it turned over and is using leverage from the Kid until the ref sees it to cause the break. Ramon then sets Double J up on the top rope, hitting a super back suplex, calls for the Razor's Edge, only for the Roadie to run in and clip Ramon's knee for the disqualification.
Damn it.
The knee they were working.
Post-match, 1-2-3 runs in to deliver some spinning heel kicks to everybody, but Jarrett and the Roadie are too much and start beating him down, until Razor is able to recover to help clear the ring.
Yeah, 1-2-3 Kid, that kick he threw at Jarrett. I mean, both of the kicks that he threw were good, but that one with Jarrett, it was like he clipped him with one leg and then like hooked him with his other leg as he was coming down, and I couldn't tell for sure if Jarrett came down on his leg or his head or
maybe his head
foot.
Because he got a bloody nose somewhere there at the end. Yeah, I mean, this was so good. I want these. Hopefully, we'll get it again. You'd imagine that's the case, because the last time we saw it, it was great, and it's great this time, and give me the trilogy.
Jim Ross catches up with Double J in the aisle, and he says that payback is a you-know-what. Vincent sends us to Nick Turturro in the green room.
Third time's a charm?
We finally get this segment where he tells us that Pamela Anderson isn't in her dressing room, so Nick's hanging out here, and he brings in Jenny McCarthy when Kama comes over to flirt.
See, I love how all this time later, everything just plays back exactly the same way it was before when they were there before the match. All the guys are still standing in their little huddle talking, and yeah, Jenny McCarthy's right there.
So we're going to get this segment, damn it.
Shawn Michaels then shows up to say he is leaving as champion, followed by Sycho Sid giving his thoughts as well, saying something about fear and nightmares. Mm-hmm. And we haven't seen Sid since Halloween Havoc 93, episode 103.
He's in the doghouse from maybe a stabbing.
That would be exactly where he was.
Hence the new nickname even. He's just gone full psycho now. He's no longer vicious. He's just a psycho.
How well known it was that he had stabbed Arn Anderson at this point in time. Were you aware of this, Shane? Probably not.
No.
Fans probably weren't.
Yeah.
But, inside the business.
Yeah, I mean, everybody definitely...
Internet wasn't quite as active yet.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
So, kind of the story behind all of this is, after the Rumble, the Heartbreak Kid had decided he needed a bodyguard. So, Sycho Sid was brought in to provide protection.
He needs a new Diesel.
That's right. And he's going up against Diesel, so big man versus big man there a little bit. Vincent sends us to a video package where we see IRS repossess the Undertaker's urn while King Kong Bundy stares down the dead man in the ring at the Royal Rumble. We then go to Todd Pettengill, who's in the crowd with former Chicago Bear Neil Anderson. And he starts asking him about Lawrence Taylor and his match. My first thought was, oh, Neil Anderson, you're not an All-Pro, man. He's not on the All-Pro team.
Oh, true, yeah.
Is he part of the...
Which he actually was an All-Pro at one point. But
that's what I was thinking.
But, you know.
Hey.
Not everyone can be around the ringside for the main event. He's got a better seat anyway.
Too good to be a lumberjack.
So we then go to our third match. King Kong Bundy with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, versus The Undertaker with Paul Bearer, with Larry Young as the special guest referee. So Larry Young was a out-of-work baseball umpire, as the Major League Baseball strike was still going on at this point. It was a couple weeks away from getting started back up. So
was he a popular ref, or are they just like, yeah, we might as well say that he's a baseball ref, just because?
I literally have no clue what connection he had to WWF, wrestling, anything.
Yeah, he's just here.
Maybe he's a hometown hero.
Maybe. Who knows? I really don't. Vince says that Undertaker has never lost at WrestleMania. So our first mention of the streak?
I think so. I believe that's the case. This is what Undertaker's like fourth WrestleMania.
Yep. So DiBiase accidentally drops the urn as he's trying to get out of the ring, but he finally gathers himself to exit. When Bundy then charges at Taker, who's turned around in the corner, only for the dead man to move in time, sending King Kong into the turnbuckle. Undertaker starts delivering right hands before hitting old school that staggers Bundy. So Taker goes for multiple clotheslines that finally knock King Kong down. Bundy's back up and hits a clothesline that sends the dead man over the ropes to the floor, only for him to land on his feet right by the $1 Million Man. So Undertaker rips the urn away from him and returns it to Bearer, who opens it for the light to shine into the crowd.
I love when they put the light in the urn, but it's a shame because the lights are all on right now. So it's like, you can kind of see it.
Yeah.
But this wasn't the spot for it anymore.
DiBiase then goes down the aisle, and he looks to be motioning for someone as Taker gets back in the ring to deliver more right hands and chokes. All of a sudden, Kama, the supreme fighting machine, comes running down to the ring. He kicks Paul Bearer and takes the urn, only for the dead man to grab him, which allows King Kong to attack from behind.
Kama is just born to run in. Born to run. Born to run.
Especially at WrestleManias.
Yeah.
And they let him get there on time this time.
Yeah, last time it was for the Warrior match, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kama escapes down the aisle with the urn, where Jim Ross catches up with him and asks him what he's going to do with it. He says he's going to melt it down and make jewelry out of it. All right.
I guess. I mean, you could have gone the violent route. It's like, I'm going to make bullets.
Hey.
I'm going to put one in the Undertaker because this dead man won't die.
He's going to make jewelry. How do you think he gets all them hoes?
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
He's going to make a cane. One whole cane, please.
So meanwhile, in the ring, Bundy with a body slam and a pair of clotheslines to send Undertaker to the floor. Taker then slides back in, only to receive some boots and chokes from King Kong, before going for a snapmare that is blocked. So Bundy just hits a body slam and a knee drop for a 2 count. King Kong whips the dead man to a corner and charges in, only for Undertaker to get a boot up, followed by a body slam and a leaping clothesline for the pin and the win.
Undertaker couldn't safely pile driver old KKB King Kong Bundy. So,
He body slammed him better than Lex body slammed old
Yokozuna?
Jacob or Eli.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, on this show at all. But yeah, it's like, I wouldn't want to, if I was King Kong Bundy, I wouldn't want to be taking a pile driver either. I know that Undertaker is one of the safest guys to do it, but King Kong Bundy is a little too big, and you can't have that much behind your neck if even if your head doesn't touch the mat.
So this would obviously make Undertaker 4-0 at WrestleMania.
Hell yeah.
And this would be the last time we see King Kong Bundy.
I mean, we hadn't seen him in like a decade anyway. Probably less than that, but I mean, it'd been a while. He had a nice quick little run, a couple of pay-per-views. Probably an okay payday. He had a match with The Undertaker. Does he just never wrestle again? Or I mean,
he stays in the company for a few more months, but he never shows back up on pay-per-view.
Yeah, but then did he like legitimately retire? Or is he like everyone else and never retires?
He gets let go, and I think he wrestled for a few more years, but never does anything major.
I'm sure he's probably past at this point.
It's some acting.
I think so.
Or more acting. I remember he at one point was Unmarried with Children.
Oh, yeah.
He was Cousin Bundy. Or I don't remember what his actual name was, but since his last name is Bundy, it was him.
He's the kind of big guy that is great to be, like, it could be a great goofy character actor. Just like, just throw him in there in the pool hall, and he's the big guy when somebody tries to beat somebody up, and then they like look over at their friend, and it's King Kong Bundy growling.
We then go to Nick Turturro again, and this time he's outside Pamela Anderson's dressing room. And he tells us that she and Shawn Michaels had a big disagreement earlier in the evening, and now nobody has seen her since.
Oh, man. Couldn't get any worse than that.
He then's walking off, and he asks for help from Steve McMichael.
I was fucking wrong. Wow.
Reggie White, and the rest of LT's All-Pro team.
Oh, Steve McMichael. Old Mongo, huh?
It's his first appearance.
Oh, yay.
We'll see a lot more of Steve McMichael.
Okay, he's a football player at this point.
Yes.
Okay, and I mean, we all know the close ties of football players and wrestling. Off the top of my head, immediately, I think Ron Simmons, Goldberg, The Rock.
Lawrence Taylor.
Well, Lawrence Taylor, yeah. But I mean, you know.
I mean, he's headlining WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar, yeah. I mean, there's like basically almost everybody. But I always think of Ron
Rex
Simmons.
Steiner.
Dr. Death.
Yeah, Dr. Death for sure.
Ron Breaker.
Yeah. I always just think of Ron Simmons first.
Brian Pillman.
But maybe it's just because I like him the most. Yeah, Pillman.
Moose.
Yeah. We could do this for days, probably. Honestly, you could probably make this
we should probably move forward.
20 questions in the future.
Another dressing room, and he goes into it, and he sees Bob Backlund and Jonathan Taylor Thomas playing chess. And Backlund starts yelling about cameras.
This is what's wrong with America.
As JTT wins their chess match.
Yeah, Backlund doesn't know who Pam Anderson is. He thinks the kids are all crazy.
And he starts yelling random, just trivia questions at Jonathan Taylor Thomas, who knows all the answers to them. So he complains that youngsters don't respect their elders.
They think they know it all.
I thought that was actually a pretty funny segment.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Backlund's hamming it up, but he's really entertaining.
I mean, you got prime JTT right there, too.
Oh, yeah. I was hoping later in the show that he came out to the Home Improvement theme song. That would have been great.
Ooh.
God, I hate Buzz Lightyear. What's his name? Tim Allen. I like Buzz Lightyear.
Chris Evans?
Oh, is he voicing the new Buzz Lightyear?
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But he's a real person.
Yeah.
Is this like the prequel?
The prequel.
Okay.
It seems really silly, but I'm sure I'll watch it.
Have you heard the theory that he goes out in space and he goes through a portal and it's actually him as the toy? It's this weird, but it's a funny.
God, I love that.
It's a funny conspiracy theory type thing.
That is funny for sure. It is weird for Disney to do that, but you know they leave no stone unturned, so it's not surprising.
We then go to our fourth match: Owen Hart and a mystery partner versus the Smoking Guns of Bart and Billy Gunn for the WWF Tag Team Championships.
I know, you're going into the Tag Team Championships with a mystery partner?
Mm-hmm. So the story behind this match was that Owen had lost with Jim Neidhart in the Tag Team tournament earlier in the year.
So he dumped his bro? His bro-in-law?
More like his bro had been dumped by the company.
Oh, yeah. He didn't last too long this time, huh?
No.
I assume he just had drug problems?
Who knows?
Not sure.
You can pretty much say that about anybody in wrestling.
Yeah, except for like maybe Bret.
Hart then claimed he would bring in one of Bret's biggest enemies to help him win his first title. So Owen announces his partner to be Yokozuna, who we haven't seen since Survivor Series 94, episode 136.
Yeah, like almost, not almost a full year, but been a while.
He comes out with Jim Cornette and Mr. Fuji. Vince then sends us to the back, where the Smoking Guns are asked if they are surprised by Hart's partner. They say it's a big surprise, but we're still leaving as champions. But on a side note, after watching this promo, it made total sense why Billy is the bigger star than Bart ever was.
Bart was just a pretty face.
It's like Billy had some charisma on this promo.
Oh, for sure.
I was just like, yeah, Billy, go for it.
I love that somebody gave Jerry Lawler a sheet of facts for like each match because he like, it's obvious he doesn't say them very naturally, but he lets us know that it's been exactly 6 years since Owen Hart debuted as the Blue Blazer, and Vince McMahon of course lets us know that Yokozuna is even bigger than the last time we saw him.
Which is true.
Yeah, it always is.
Bigger, beardier.
Yeah.
But he looks a little more relaxed. Not so stiff as he was, during his championship days.
Oh yeah. I mean, maybe he was a little bit better at Fat Camp this time.
Or worse, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Maybe they just stopped hassling him at this point, so it's like, yeah, I'm good.
Just get over here.
So Owen and Billy start us off with Gunn slapping Hart and grabbing the arm for Bart to jump in off the ropes onto it. But after an eye rake, Yoko comes in, only to miss a clothesline. Zuna hits a body slam and goes for an elbow drop, but Bart moves out of the way and goes for the arm, only for a right hand to put a stop to that.
Yoko working from underneath already.
Owens in to work the arm, only to run into a pair of arm drags from Bart. The Guns then hit a double team Russian leg sweep, followed by a double drop kick on Yokozuna to send them out to the floor to regroup. Owen makes his way back to the apron, so Billy brings him in with a slingshot. The Guns then hit a back suplex neckbreaker combo for a 2 count. Hart is being slung around the ring, going sternum first into corners, followed by a double team side suplex leg drop combo that only gets a 2 count, as the ref is trying to get Yoko back onto the apron. Billy goes for a body slam, only for Owen to float over and drop toe holds Gunn, followed by a Zuna leg drop.
Leg drop to the back of the head.
Ain't fucking around.
Billy rolls to the floor where Hart continues the punishment by ramming him into a ring post.
Posted.
Before rolling Gunn back into the ring. Billy's firing up, but a headbutt, chops, and a trap hold from Yokozuna stops that momentum.
Trap hold.
The nerve of him.
Yoko's holding Billy for Owen to come in with a top rope drop kick, only for Gunn to move, causing Zuna to take the blow, allowing Billy to make the crawl to the corner for the hot tag. Bart press slams Hart, whiplashes Yokozuna, and starts to run the ropes, only for Owen to low bridge, sending Bart to the floor, while Billy gets hit with a belly-to-belly suplex by Yoko. Zuna hits the bonsai drop on Billy, but Bart is able to make the save, before delivering right hands to Yokozuna, only to be back body dropped to the floor. Hart is tagged in, and he starts to put the sharpshooter on, but he realizes that Billy is still out, so he just makes the cover for the pin and the win.
You know what's crazy? No Fuji, I apologize.
And new!
Keep it in, double it. Crazy, no Fuji or Jim Cornette interference. Right?
No.
Right? I thought that was wild. You got Jim Cornette here, and you're not even going to have him do anything? Fuji doesn't even use the flag? Well, where are we? I guess they didn't need it. That's true. They won. Yeah. Kind of weird that he goes to put on a sharpshooter and is like, fuck it.
I'll just cover it.
Yeah. There was a really great Jerry Lawler line where he's talking about how Owen Hart's so much smarter than Bret, and he says that Bret still thinks Old Yeller is a story about Stu's tooth. I was like, Jesus, that's good. That's really good.
Wow.
We then have Vince and the King start talking about the Stridex blimp.
Oh, that's Stridex blimp.
Giving them great camera shots.
It is the lowest quality camera ever. It's so funny. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I am pro blimp. I think blimps are cool.
Oh yeah, and I appreciate what they were going for there, but it was as effective as their sound quality was at the beginning of the show. It just ain't there.
I really only mention this because Lawler has a great line where he says they should fly it over to 123 Kid's locker room.
Oh yeah.
He's got so many pimples you could play connect the dots.
Lawler's great. But we all know that.
So they send it to Todd Pettengill, who's with Bam Bam Bigelow, who shows us the confrontation from the Royal Rumble between Lawrence Taylor and Bam Bam. Bigelow then says he was disrespecting me, so I shoved him. We then go to footage from the WWF Times Square pre-WrestleMania workout, where the two men start brawling in the middle of the ring, with wrestlers having to break them up.
It would be pretty neat to be in the middle of Times Square and catch a stupid wrestling match.
Bam Bam then says he isn't worried about the fan support. He's going to teach Lawrence Taylor a lesson tonight because he's just a flash in the pan.
Get it?
I don't.
No, I just mean get it.
Oh, get it. I got you. I thought I was like, was Lawrence Taylor called the Flash? No. I got you. Okay. I don't know a whole lot about Lawrence Taylor except for that he wears one earring and he looks cool. Mm-hmm. And he played football.
We then go to our fifth match. Mr. Bob Backlund versus Bret the Hitman Hart in an I Quit match with Rowdy Roddy Piper as the special guest referee.
I know, we got the return of the microphone. I don't feel like they always use a microphone for an I Quit match, but I'm pro that.
So the last time we saw Piper was at King of the Ring 94, all the way back in episode 120.
I love his No Fear t-shirt. It's like his, not Hot Rod. It says No Fear, and we got Taz on the back in a kilt. It's a pretty stellar t-shirt.
So Hart goes right after Bob, pounding him into a corner with headbutts and back elbows before trying for a sharpshooter, only for Backlund to kick him away. Bret keeps up the attack with an elbow drop and turnbuckle smashes when Roddy comes in with the mic screaming, "What do you say?"
Smacking him in the face with it.
But Bob says no. The Hitman goes back to the sharpshooter, only for Backlund to roll through. So Hart applies a figure 4, with Piper screaming at Bob, "What do you say?"
Gotta loosen up that knee for the sharpshooter.
Backlund turns the hold over, so Roddy then starts asking Bret, until the hold is broken when the Hitman makes the ropes. Hart continues to work the leg when Bob kicks his face to escape, following up by working Bret's arm in the corner, before stalking behind to lock on the chicken wing, only for the Hitman to avoid momentarily. Backlund continues the punishment with an armbar, changing into a hammerlock, which Hart escapes with a body slam and a backbreaker. Second rope elbow connects for Bret, and he goes for the sharpshooter again, only for Bob to turn into the ropes to break the hold.
Jerry Lawler keeps teasing Roddy Piper turning on Bret from their WrestleMania 8?
Yes.
8 match? A great match you should all go back and watch.
Very good match. Yeah. He's
teasing
trying
it.
to play the Piper's out for revenge.
I know.
He's going to be on Bob's side.
It's a good angle. Good job. You're doing your job, Jerry.
Then you got Piper in the ring with his Hart, Bob microphone.
What do you say? The Hitman sends Backlund to the corner and charges in, only for Bob to move, sending Hart shoulder first into the post.
Posted. I love the shots of the microphone in the corner. They do like the mic cam, where they get like right up next to it into the ring. I love when they do stuff like that.
Backlund starts stalking Bret from behind so he can lock on the cross-face chicken wing.
Oh no.
Only for the Hitman to reverse into one of his own and drops down to the mat.
Oh my god.
Piper with his, "What do you say?" And Bob garbles something that sounds like, "Yeah!"
Yeah, it's like, did he say yeah as in yes, or is he just in pain?
And Roddy calls for the bell, making Hart the winner.
He didn't actually say I quit. I mean, that's obviously that's the.
I mean, when he originally lost the title, he didn't get pinned. He didn't quit the match. The towel was thrown in by somebody else.
So what we've learned is that in 20 years, Bob Backlund doesn't ever actually lose. He's very protected.
Mm-hmm. Bob Backlund, Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 38.
Ooh. Would watch.
Is that the next WrestleMania? I forget.
Yeah,
probably. I think that's right. I think
so.
that's the right number. Took a wild guess. Bret has said in his book that this is his least favorite match of his entire career.
Oh, okay. Really?
See, but as I was just reading this, the word least just totally blurred, so I read it as this is his favorite match of his career. I'm like,
it's like, that's
what?
crazy talk. It's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not.
Is it good?
It's better than a lot of stuff we watch.
Yeah, but is it good?
But it's not the best use.
I'm a screener for the film festival, and
it's not the best use.
Certain things are better than what I watched before, and that doesn't mean they're good.
Yeah, it's not the best use of Bret on a WrestleMania. I'll say that.
I mean, I can't remember what all was happening with them at this time, but I really don't think we needed to pick back up with Bret and Bob after Survivor Series. I mean, yeah, I know Bret needed to get his redemption from being beat, but
I don't think anybody was clamoring for it.
No, everybody kind of forgot about it 3 days later when Bob lost the belt.
Yeah. Jim Ross catches up with Backlund on his way to the back, and Bob just looks all crazed, saying he saw a light.
Yeah.
He saw the sign, and it opened up his eyes.
We then go back to Nick Turturro, and he says he still can't find Pamela Anderson.
Where's Pamela
Anderson?
So
she must have left the building.
Oh my God. Obviously.
Because Nick Turturro is a detective on NYPD Blue, guys.
He's such a little guy. I never watched NYPD Blue.
It was good. I mean,
obviously it was hot at the moment, I imagine.
5 seasons or so.
This was probably the beginning of it, I'd imagine.
I mean, I figured you would have at least watched the first season, so you could have, had the David Caruso effect.
Maybe one day I'll get to NYPD Blue.
We then go to Todd Pettengill, who's in the back with Diesel. And he says, I know what Shawn's game plan is. But he then botches his line as he's about to say he's there to regain the belt instead of hold on to the belt.
Yeah, he definitely botches it. He's like, yeah, you can see his face just kind of like,
and I'm going out there to regain, to hold on to the title.
Yeah.
We then go to Howard Finkel, who announces our celebrities for the next match. Jonathan Taylor Thomas is the guest timekeeper. Nick Turturro is the guest ring announcer.
Let's hope the microphone works.
And we head to our 6th match. The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, with Sycho Sid and Jenny McCarthy versus Big Daddy Cool Diesel with Pamela Anderson.
What the fuck?
For the WWF Championship.
But she left. She was gone. She wasn't even there anymore. Nobody could find her.
Shawn's a jerk. And Jenny, I guess, she's got a little more.
She singled him out.
A little bit more spitting.
He singled her out. Something.
Yeah, she's got a little more spit and vinegar. She can hang with Shawn Michaels. Pam's like, either be nice or don't even get near me.
So by virtue of winning the Royal Rumble, Anderson was supposed to be in the Heartbreak Kid's corner.
Contractually obligated.
But she had left him, and so he went and got Jenny McCarthy instead. Mm-hmm. So the big question is, guys, Pamela Anderson or Jenny McCarthy?
Oh my God, it's an impossible question. Yeah, if you flip a coin, you're always a winner. Especially like at this point in 1995, where there's like peak fucking hot, crazy.
Then Pamela Anderson. Now Jenny McCarthy.
I could agree with that.
I go Jenny McCarthy. Then
Pam now. Jenny McCarthy now.
If we can keep Jenny McCarthy's mouth shut, now as well.
Oh yeah, I mean that wasn't the question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's. I mean, like, I'm just.
I would go.
It's like early Pamela Anderson. She was gorgeous back then. And then,
oh man, yeah.
Tommy Lee happened, and
I always forget.
She is married to Tommy Lee at this point.
Oh, is she already?
Yeah,
okay.
But yeah, like I always.
Kid Rock happened.
Oh, Kid Rock, man,
he ruins everything.
But like, what a lucky son of a bitch. Not handsome. I would argue that he's not particularly talented.
No.
But that's just me.
Only God knows why.
I make that joke. I use that joke all the time. Only God knows why. I say you get what it's like. As Kid Rock always says, you get what you put in, and people get what they deserve. Only God knows why. And every time I say that, my friends get very upset with me. But I will never forget that lyric. I don't know why, but it's just stuck in my head.
Only God knows why.
He gave the world Uncle Cracker, and the world said, "Fuck you, we're done."
I honestly will take Kid Rock over Uncle Cracker. That one Uncle Cracker song is every aunt's favorite song. I hate it so much.
Mm-hmm.
So Shawn goes to attack before the bell, only to be backdropped over to the floor, which allows Diesel to invite Anderson into the ring for his pyro. The bell finally rings and Michael starts running the ropes, ducking a clothesline and a back elbow. Tries for an O'Connor roll, only for Big Daddy Cool to hold onto the ropes. So HBK starts running the ropes again, only to run into a forearm. Shawn starts working the arm, but he's shoved off, hip tossed, and back body dropped, before being sent to a corner for a flare flip to the floor, where he falls on top of a cameraman, which Michaels manhandles for being in his way for a moment.
Good.
Oh yeah, I was like,
fuck out of my way, dude.
He's a little upset. He's probably pretty annoyed about all these damn cameramen in general.
I was thinking I could have broken my back.
Mm-hmm.
Sid jumps on the apron to provide a distraction, but it doesn't work as Diesel turns in time to deliver a forearm as HBK gets into the ring. Sid jumps on the apron to provide a distraction, but it doesn't work as Diesel turns in time to deliver a forearm as HBK gets into the ring. Big Daddy Cool charges into the corner, only for Shawn to move, and he goes for mounted punches multiple times, which Diesel just shoves him off each time. Big Daddy Cool with a back elbow tries for a press slam, but a rake of the eyes causes Diesel to drop him. Michaels then goes for a suplex, but it's reversed into a vertical suplex by Big Daddy Cool, following up with a knee that sends the Heartbreak Kid to the floor. Diesel drags Shawn to the apron where he receives an eye rake, allowing Michaels to enter the ring and hit a sunset flip, only for Big Daddy Cool to stay up and choke lift HBK onto the ropes to crouching.
I feel like maybe he called up Hogan and was like, "Is it cool if I do eye rakes?"
I was thinking they called it an eye rake, but I swear it was just a thumb to the eye.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe Piper was there and he gave him the okay.
Okay, cool.
Shawn ducks a big boot, coming back with a clothesline that sends them both over the ropes.
A real 360.
Only for Michaels to skin the cat to return to the ring.
It's fucking sick.
Goes to the top rope, coming off with a crossbody all the way to the floor.
It's a big old crossbody, too.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't just, fall to the floor. He jumped up and down to the floor.
He had to jump off all over all the photographers. Heartbreak Kid rolls back in, hits Diesel with a baseball slide kick, tries for a second one as Big Daddy Cool moves, and he goes for a back elbow. But Shawn moves and sends Diesel elbow first into the ring post.
Smarts.
One of those camera guys looks like a character actor, and I couldn't figure out which character actor it was. I was looking people up, and I was like, it's not like Brian James or Byron James or whatever, but he looks like a character actor that I could not find, but I did. He looked so familiar that I had to do some research.
I'm trying to think of who Brian James or Byron James is.
You'd recognize him. Right now, I'm only thinking of him as one of the guys of the Enemy Mine, but that's obviously not his biggest role. But he's one of those guys that plays like a crony in a gang or something.
Michaels then delivers a splash off the apron, rolling back into the ring to distract the ref to keep him from counting out Big Daddy Cool. Once back in the ring, Heartbreak Kid hits a boot to the head and stomps to the face before hitting a second rope bulldog for a 2 count. Following it up with a knee lift, right hands, and a springboard back elbow for a near fall.
Not fucking around.
A series of double axe handles and knees to the back continue the punishment before heading up top for a elbow drop for a 2 count. Shawn then tries for a DDT several times, only for Diesel to toss him off each time, before sending Michaels to the corner, where Heartbreak Kid tries to leap up and over him, but he's caught by Big Daddy Cool. Shawn ends up wiggling his way free, shoving Diesel into the turnbuckle, before jumping on his back and applying a sleeper, taking Big Daddy Cool down to the mat, where the ref checks on him. Once. Twice. But Diesel starts to fire up, getting to his feet and ramming Michaels into a corner. A pair of back elbows, multiple clotheslines, snake eyes, and a body guillotine by Big Daddy Cool regains control of the match, before sending Heartbreak Kid to the corner for another flare flip, but this time only to the apron. But Diesel hits a forearm to knock him out to the floor.
I love that. Love that spot. Right on the apron, taking a clothesline or a forearm. Get out of here. Yeah, that one is for Pam.
Shawn does a little cat and mouse, going in and out of the ring with Big Daddy Cool stalking after him, with the ref following behind. But when Hebner drops to the floor to stop Sid from interfering, he twists his ankle.
Oh no! Not the Hebner ankle bump.
Yeah. Back in the ring, Michaels hits Sweet Chin Music, makes the cover, but the ref is still out. So Sid rolls him in, only to get a near fall.
You got another leg there, old Hebner. Come on.
Get to hopping.
Sycho Sid then jumps on the apron and cuts off the top turnbuckle pad in a corner.
I love that it's a little Swiss Army knife.
Teeny tiny Swiss Army knife, yep.
Which exposes the steel, with Heartbreak Kid looking to slam Diesel's head onto it, only to be reversed into a back suplex, with both men knocked out, until Shawn drapes an arm over for a 2 count.
I mean, the crowd's going wild. There's some Diesel chants, and I feel like I heard a few "Let's Go Shawns." I'm not sure exactly. I mean, he's pretty cool.
Michaels then comes off the second rope, but he's caught and dropped with a sidewalk slam. Big Daddy Cool...
The ribs! They've been working the ribs throughout the match. A sidewalk slam, right on the ribs.
Big Daddy Cool then catapults Heartbreak Kid towards the exposed corner, but they're so far away, Shawn only hits the second turnbuckle, which is still padded.
It looks perfect, though. Mm-hmm. He, where the camera is, and he, misses it, and you're like, oh, he'll be all right, and then he legitimate, just right on the money face plants the second turnbuckle. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody's head go into the turnbuckle more perfectly.
Both men get back to their feet, where Diesel starts revving up with forearms, a big boot, and a jackknife powerbomb for the pin and the win. So post-match, all the celebs get in the ring, including Jenny McCarthy, to celebrate with Big Daddy Cool.
Pam and Jenny are still buds. Just saying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
While Jim Ross catches up with Michaels and Sid as they're leaving to the back. And Sycho says they are not done with Diesel. Mm-mm. We then go to Pettengill, who's in the locker room with the Heartbreak Kid and Sid. And they say they beat Big Daddy Cool with Sweet Chin Music.
But there was no ref.
But where was the ref? Which is
everyone saw it.
Completely
it's
true.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Give him the out and give him an honest out. I know that they tried to cheat, but the buckle didn't even really get used.
Nope.
Thank God, because Shawn's head went into the turnbuckle the way he went into the second pad, the exposed one. Ugh.
But spoiler alert, they will use that top turnbuckle as a story point.
Oh, really?
Going forward.
They're going to say that he hit it?
He was supposed to, yes.
Yeah. Well...
And that was the catalyst for the next part of this story. But he didn't hit it, and so the storyline has a little bit of a...
continuity issue.
Yeah.
But, the way he went into the second one was so perfect. Does it even matter?
The way they tell the story.
Yeah, of course.
So we then go to our 7th match. Bam Bam Bigelow.
Bam Bam.
With King Kong Bundy, Tatanka, Nikolai Volkoff, the Supreme Fighting Machine, Irwin R. Shyster, and the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase.
Money.
versus Lawrence Taylor with Ken Norton, Chris Spielman, Ricky Jackson, Carl Banks, Steve McMichael, and Reggie White, with Pat Patterson as our special guest referee.
I think Pat's in there just to, keep Taylor, be like, yo, he probably set the, agented the match or something.
Patterson is always the ref for these, celebrity matches because
I was thinking Pat Patterson said, you're going to have 5 or 6 football players around the wing? Put me in there.
So the story behind this match, we kind of saw a little bit at the Royal Rumble when Bam Bam would shove Lawrence Taylor. Afterwards, Bigelow was forced to apologize, only for him to retract it, saying Taylor had no right to laugh at him. So Bam Bam would continue to challenge and insult LT week after week on TV, until Taylor's lawyers would get involved, showing up telling Bigelow it was never gonna happen. But eventually, LT would accept the match.
He had enough.
Followed by a confrontation at a press conference and a public workout the week before the show. And as we mentioned earlier, not shown on the network, and obviously you can find it on, you said Vimeo?
Yeah, if you just search Salt and Pepper WrestleMania 11, you can find it. It's a couple minutes long, and they do the whole song.
They do an LT-inspired version of What a Man.
It's really good.
And the only reason I even mention it is because you can still see them cheering for people as the competitors are coming out.
Yeah, they show them early in the show, and then here they're still on the stage because they legitimately had just performed. I'd imagine that they did it right before this match. Yes. What song is it? Is it the ESPN song? What is the Monday Night Football?
The All Pro team comes out to the Monday Night Football theme song.
I was like, why do I know this wonderful song? And that's what it is.
Like Hank Williams?
I think it's the music probably pre...
Or
it's the dun 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 dun.
Okay, that one.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah. It's not the Are You Ready for Some Football?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I didn't remember hearing that one, but I didn't figure they'd...
That would have been sick if they came out to that. Honestly, either one's good.
So the All Pro team's all in the ring when the $1 Million Corporation comes down, and they're challenging him from ringside, but the footballers can just keep them from entering the ring. Once everything kind of settles down, our two main competitors are in the ring. Pat Patterson's giving them instructions as they stare each other down when Bam Bam shoves Taylor.
That's how it all started.
LT comes back to slap and clothesline Bigelow before delivering a knee lift and a clothesline to send Bam Bam to the floor.
You know Diesel taught him that.
The crowd goes wild.
Diesel taught him that.
Oh, yeah, of course he did.
Diesel taught him everything he knows.
I doubt Diesel and Lawrence Taylor ever met.
Yeah. They may have shook hands.
You notice that in the WrestleMania intro, Lawrence wasn't anywhere near Diesel. He was with, Diesel was with some of the All-Pro crew.
Kevin Nash, football player?
Yeah.
Of course. Look at him, he's gigantic.
I figured either
that or basketball, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
After rolling back in, Bigelow tries for an avalanche splash, but Taylor moves and hits a bulldog for a 2 count. Several forearms and a hip toss send Bam Bam to the floor to regroup with his friends when LT leaps over the ropes to the floor.
I know, damn.
Which causes the two teams to have a standoff while our competitors get back into the ring.
You know what I was thinking when he jumped over springboard over the top rope to the floor? I was like, what if he twisted his ankle? This man plays football.
Bigelow takes control with a boot to the ribs, a pair of headbutts, and chokes before hitting a body slam and heading up top for a diving headbutt. But Taylor avoids. LT with a forearm, and he charges at Bam Bam, only to be caught, allowing Bigelow to go to choking, before locking on a Boston Crab, which Taylor escapes by getting to the ropes. Bam Bam pulls LT back to the middle of the ring to continue working the legs, but Taylor makes the ropes once more. LT is fighting back with forearms and a back suplex, but Bigelow is first back to his feet, allowing him to hit a double axe handle, a pair of diving headbutts, and a leg drop. Bam Bam heads up top once again, connecting with a moonsault, but he injures his knee in the process, which allows Taylor to kick out at 2.
Yeah, that whole I hurt my knee thing looked pretty sad.
Back to their feet, LT goes to run the ropes, hitting what was called a jackknife powerbomb, but it's really just a gut-wrench powerbomb.
I know.
As Taylor isn't able to get Bigelow all the way up.
It still looks okay.
It didn't look bad.
Yeah, and I was like, that should have been it. I was hoping that was the finish.
And my thought was...
I was pumped.
So that's what Diesel taught you, huh?
Uh-huh.
They make it to their feet again with Bigelow hitting an enziguri and more diving headbutts before heading up for a top rope headbutt that connects for the pin. And no! LT kicks out. Taylor fires up with forearms and shoulder blocks, and then heads up top for a flying forearm for the pin and the win. Post-match, the All-Pros jump in the ring to celebrate, while Jim Ross gets the $1 Million Man's thoughts, saying that Bam Bam has embarrassed me and the corporation. We then see LT with his crew and his son celebrating a little bit more as the show fades to black.
Embarrassed the $1 Million Man and the corporation, Bam Bam. You embarrassed Nikolai Volkoff.
King Kong Bundy. Irwin R. Shyster.
The Supreme Fighting Machine.
Poor Shyster.
So I ask you, gentlemen, what are your overall thoughts of WrestleMania 11?
The last move on this show, Lawrence Taylor off the top, first Superman punch. It's a fucking Superman punch. It's like a Superman punch.
Forearm,
but really. It looks like a Superman punch. I don't know. That's what I thought. I was like, oh, damn. It looks... I mean, we'll agree that Lawrence was better than maybe you expected?
Yeah. He was definitely that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm considering, like, it's a main event or whatever. Yeah. I think he did pretty well considering we've seen a lot worse.
Previous WrestleMania football player participants, were... just guys throwing each other around in a ring and going over a top rope in the WrestleMania 2 Battle Royal.
Right. That sounds right.
Yeah. This was, like I said, he was better than I expected. Yeah. But, I mean, I really like this show. From what I understand, people think this is one of the less good WrestleManias. And
that is what the consensus is.
I think that this is a really solid wrestling show, and... maybe I'm just biased because we've been watching a lot of bad WCW.
Can I jump in here?
Of course you can.
Because I'll give you my thoughts here. If this show didn't have the word WrestleMania in the title, I think we would think this is a pretty good show.
Yeah, like it's maybe not WrestleMania quality.
It's the level of expectancy for what we consider WrestleMania to be is what makes the show not deliver.
This is a great SummerSlam.
Yeah.
It is a great SummerSlam.
Yeah, SummerSlam would have been great.
But yeah, it's like the thing, it's like, oh, Bret and Backlund, it's like, can't we have a Bret banger? Like, and then Lawrence Taylor was still better than you expected, and I get that it's the whole star thing, and they got stars here, but it doesn't quite feel WrestleMania big, but I think it's a really quality show.
The show is also like 30 minutes less than what normal pay-per-view WWF pay-per-views are.
Yeah, which
because
maybe
I
also
thought that when I sat down, I'm like, all right, well, I'll at least have 3 hours of show to watch, and then it popped up.
Yeah, you have 2:45.
It was like 2:25. I'm like, oh, cool.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah,
it made it
like literally only one match went over 10
more
minutes
joy to watch
on this show.
Yeah, nothing outstayed its welcome, and I don't think anything was.
I don't think anything needed more time.
No, I don't think anything was like
I think
bad
everything
either.
was great. I mean, if anything, they should have added another match, most likely.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything like terrible on this show.
That's the thing. Is like,
but I mean, then again, we are also missing the
salt and pepper
performance.
There's probably some other backstage stuff that we didn't see.
The thing that I found, I was like, there's a little bit for everybody here without it getting like too wild. Like all of the matches are like wrestling matches, and we've had a hard time coming across those recently. Mm-hmm. So it was nice. I was just happy to see, I guess, some wrestling matches. You know what I mean?
We're not bitching and
I'm not mad about any of this.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing is that like I said, it's a pretty good show.
I think it's a better than average show.
I think the reason that it's looked down upon is that it has WrestleMania in the title.
Yeah, understandable.
So if you compare it to other WrestleManias, I mean, it's better than some.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel as grandiose.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts, Shane? Because I kind of jumped in line.
No,
yeah.
I think we're all pretty much on the same page.
I watched this show in like one sitting.
Yeah.
I can't say that about some shows we watched recently where I'm just like, I don't know if I got it in me right now.
I mean, even for me being one who's watched it before, there were some fun surprises that I'd forgot about. I forgot about until she popped up on there, I forgot that Jenny McCarthy and Pamela Anderson were both on this one because of the lead-in just from Royal Rumble. That this was the one that Yokozuna came back and won the tag team titles with. I forgot this was Owen's little tag team run, finally getting that championship locked down.
Yeah, it's not a slog.
No, it's definitely not.
I honestly forgot that Lawrence Taylor won. As I was watching it, I kept thinking to myself, come on, hurry up, let's let Bam Bam win, just get it over with.
Oh, see, I thought the exact opposite. Where I was like, oh well, Lawrence Taylor is obviously going to win. That sucks. I don't want Bam Bam to lose to a guy that's not a wrestler. Yeah. But it's WrestleMania. It's Lawrence Taylor. They're not going to bring him in here to lose. I mean, it's April, so it's pretty far away from football season. I imagine he's still currently was active a football player at the time, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I can't remember. But
I don't know a whole shitload about LT.
I don't remember exactly what year he retired, but I'm pretty sure he was still playing at this time.
Good. Where's the smart marks at? There. All right, fuck you.
I think it's time we smark it up. So what are some of your best moments of the show?
I love Razor and Jarrett.
Yeah.
I love Razor and Jarrett all the time. I loved them here. It's probably my favorite match of the show.
I'd say Razor and Jarrett were fun. The kick from 1-2-3 Kid at the end of that match.
Oh yeah, his kicks were nasty.
One of my favorite moments from the show as a whole.
Funny enough, he was supposed to hit the exposed buckle, but Shawn Michaels going that hard into the second turnbuckle pad kind of blew my mind because the camera was just right there for it.
I honestly like the fact that there were so many audio issues.
It is fun.
Because it just, I kept laughing at it as the next one happened and the next one happened. Come on, seriously, you guys. How are you not getting this yet?
Yeah, they had the B team on.
I enjoyed the first tag match. I thought
more than I expected.
Lex and Davey Boy worked well together. I mean, yes, they did have the little bit of a mess up on that power slam, but
that was
I'm
their debut match, though.
I'm like, they cleaned that up. That's going to be a really fun act to watch.
Yeah, they look great together. Obviously, they're both fucking huge, and they could be champions forever, basically, if they could stick around long enough. But
normally, right about now is when Matt would come in with the line of, and they were both fired 3 days later.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Honestly, they're trying to get him over pretty hard. Like, they built up the Blue Brothers on TV with jobbers and said they've been undefeated. So then you bring Lex and Davey Boy in here, have them beat them, and Vince keeps talking about how these guys are going to be like a tag team of the future. They're going to be a tag team for a long time. So he is kind of
good shit.
Maybe he's just being hopeful.
But they put the belts on Owen and Yokozuna later in the show.
Yeah.
Who has history with Owen Hart and Yokozuna? Lex Luger and Davey Boy Smith.
Totally makes sense.
So it totally makes sense.
And you want to see those guys have a match against each other. And that's how do you have Lex and Davey Boy go full babyface? You got Owen Hart being a real piece of shit, and then a Japanese guy with Jim Cornette and Fuji. So yeah, I'm loving where we're going.
Yeah. Anything else?
I mean, I think the show's solid. Shawn and Diesel's really good. Like, they're just it's Shawn Michaels. He's good. Diesel and Razor might as well be working with Shawn Michaels or Jeff Jarrett because those guys are fucking good. I'm really loving what Jeff Jarrett's been doing here in 95, the end of 94 maybe. I don't know. But for these last handful of shows, I'm just loving Jeff Jarrett.
How about most disappointing?
Probably that Bret had to do an I Quit match.
That's not even the worst match on the show, and it's not the best match.
It's just a bummer because we want Bret to have a match.
There's that expectancy of quality that we have for Bret Hart matches, and this doesn't come anywhere close to it.
No, I guess it's quality for an I Quit match, but it's not. But we don't need it.
I'm gonna tell you part of the issue for me in this match is Piper.
Yeah, he's annoying.
He's very annoying.
Yeah.
Hart.
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah.
What do you say?
He's he's in there too much, and too quick, asking him.
This is why this kind of you hate the four corners touching strap matches. The I Quit with the microphone is probably my least favorite. I hate because it
worked one time. It was very bloody. They used a table. They used a chair leg.
If I don't put a mic in the ring. I just have the people say it.
Yeah.
If people can't hear it, oh well, the bell's gonna ring and they're gonna know.
Yeah.
I don't care. Mm-hmm. You keep shoving a mic into the people's faces, and it just takes me out of it completely.
Yeah, I think that it was kind of nice, but in that the one famous. I'm gonna totally say this, and then in about 4 years, I think there's one that's actually good.
That's actually really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think.
I'll totally change my tune for that one. But it didn't work here. But it doesn't work here, and 90% of the time, it doesn't work.
And it didn't work in Piper's hand.
No.
And we love Piper. I hate to say something bad about the man, but he's just a little too much for this. And especially if he doesn't turn on Bret. It's you teased it the whole time, which you should have. That was smart, but if he's not going to do it, couldn't it have been somebody else? But the reason he's here, it's WrestleMania.
I mean, also disappointing to me, along with Bret Hart being in this match, we also have Undertaker in this Bundy match. Mm-hmm. Undertaker is now 4-0 at WrestleManias. He should be 4-0 because he's faced a bunch of crap opponents in those 4 matches. But you literally, this is WrestleMania. Yes, you get your two. Those are your 2 big guys, or they should be. I mean, we're building Shawn. We got Diesel as champion, but your 2 big guys are champion. Bret and Undertaker, and they're both basically in mid-card feuds.
Yep.
Yes. They are. Yep. And I like Taker more in theory than in practice. I understand why he's huge, why he's so popular and why he's cool and why it works. But I'm not the biggest Undertaker in the ring fan. I don't think many people are. It's about the character and the consistency of the character and all of that. But it's what's your favorite Undertaker match we've seen? I don't even know. They're all the same to me.
So far,
two that we've watched so far, yeah. Fuck, I don't even know. It's they're all just kind of a wash. I remember more about the
Royal Rumble '94.
Oh, okay.
Just because of the ending.
Yeah.
I was going to say that's
because the Undertaker's,
that's the Yokozuna when Yokozuna beats him in the casket match, right?
Yeah.
And
that is that's great.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's because Undertaker
but it's not the match itself isn't good because it's just a clusterfuck of people running down. It's what's remembered is the stuff after.
Here's my take, which is not very hot, but probably more honest than anything else. Is the Undertaker's matches are just a catalyst to Undertaker moments that we all remember. It's you get the match to get to the moment of. I mean, or sometimes the moments happen in the match, but it's never a technical thing. It's always a supernatural thing, which it should be because he's a supernatural character.
He has better matches later in his career
when he has better people to work with or people that are more mobile.
But at this point, no one is able to have that kind of match with him right now.
Yeah, it's not they haven't figured out how to make him. Yeah, have a technical match.
To me, my favorite opponent for Undertaker hasn't even shown up yet in WWF.
I mean, I imagine that it's his big beautiful brother.
That's not my favorite opponent of his.
Okay, well then maybe it's Mrs. Foley's baby boy.
He's good too, but that's not my favorite.
Oh, okay.
The Cerebral Assassin.
Okay.
Him and Triple H, I feel like they have great chemistry in the ring.
Yeah. The 2 of them, and then him and Shawn.
I'll say it now because who knows if we'll ever make it to that WrestleMania. That's the one WrestleMania that I thought the Undertaker was going to lose.
Oh, really? Is it 20-something?
The one with Shawn. The Shawn guest referee match. That's the one I'm talking about. Because they face each other 2 years in a row. Yeah. It's 27. No. It's either 27 or 28.
Yeah.
24 was Shawn and Flair. 25 was Taker and Shawn.
26 was Shawn and
Shawn.
27 was Trips and Undertaker, and 28 was Trips and I think it's 28 because Undertaker hadn't wrestled since 27.
Oh.
And then Shawn came back to be a guest referee. And
the end of an era.
Yeah, the end of an era. Yep. That match.
So that was technically
that's the Taker match for you?
Mania, because him and Triple H have done 3.
Oh, okay.
Because they did like 17 or something like that.
So it's WrestleMania 28, that match.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one WrestleMania match that, like, of Takers that I went, like, they're, like, I was the first time I watched that match, I was in the moment, and I was like, Undertaker's losing this match.
Yeah, they finally got you.
Yeah.
Which is what we all want. That's the only thing I ever want out of wrestling is to fucking forget that.
To get got.
Yeah, I just want to get got. I just
want to get got.
I just want to get caught up in it, man. That's all I'm waiting for.
How about best performer of the night?
I don't know. I loved Jarrett. I'm on the Jarrett train right now. I don't know why. Like Shawn, of course, is great. He's Shawn. But I think that Jarrett and I think Razor is better than Diesel, obviously.
Yeah.
And Jarrett is very similar in being a shithead and technically great, like Shawn is. So it's just like, here's our peanut butter and jelly is Shawn or not Shawn, is Jarrett and Razor, where it's like, okay, well, Shawn and Diesel is maybe like you used apricot jelly, and it's like, well, I don't know why we did that, but it wasn't the worst sandwich I've ever had.
A little too crunchy.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, apricot and peanut butter. Okay.
How about you, Shane?
Honestly, I gotta go to Kathy Huey. I'm giving it to her.
Who?
You love the America of the Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh,
she was great.
It was such a wild performance that I was like...
That's one of those that I got because I wasn't expecting that at all.
Oh, me neither. It turns into this thing that is like otherworldly to where it almost feels like it's Bjork or like Kate Bush or something. like oh, damn. Like, I need to put on Wuthering Heights now after this. She really goes for it. It's really cool.
For me, it's Bam Bam Bigelow. He made LT...
Look great.
Look great.
Yep. LT didn't do himself any. He looked like he was trying, and he's obviously.
If LT had ever wanted to come back and do this again, I wouldn't have been like, he sucked. No, thank you.
No, it's not.
He looked great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he could honestly, if he was like, I'm done with football, like he could come be a big man. I feel like he could take to it.
Oh yeah, I feel
like he could.
I got to put that then on my best moments because you just reminded me. LT jumping over the top rope onto the floor.
Yeah, that blew my mind.
I mean, dude,
Ron Simmons never did that.
A crazy athlete. I mean, that doesn't surprise me that he can do that. But
I mean,
yeah, but it's also pretty ballsy of him too.
True.
Especially if he's still like currently on a contract or whatever. Like, those ankles are important.
Yeah,
super important.
How about most surprising?
I was surprised that we didn't get the Salt and Pepper song, but then as soon as we didn't get the song, I was like, oh, I am not surprised.
We don't pay enough for this network.
Of course I'm not surprised.
Jim Ross's talents were wasted on interviews on the aisle to and from the ring.
Yeah, he could be getting it. He could be ramming and jamming over there with. But I don't dislike
Bret Hart having one of the worst matches on the show.
Yeah, and the thing is it's not bad. It's just why that. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's awful. We're gonna talk about some stuff.
It's not awful.
Last week we just talked about some stuff.
We did.
We just talked about some stuff. Some stuff. Stuff is like the nicest word I could use. So like this was still like
the word I want to use still has the letter S starting.
Yeah, but so I think that this show gets maybe like it's rose-colored glasses because we've been doing some stuff that we're not fans of, covering some stuff that we really like feels like why did we even do this? So it was nice to see a show that was all wrestling matches.
Yeah.
All wrestling matches and all different kinds of wrestling matches.
Yeah.
There was like variety, but not variety in stipulation as much as like actual style. So I appreciated that. And it's funny. We used to go to WCW for wrestling. Now we're over here at WWF for motherfucking wrestling.
Hey.
I'll take it where I can get it.
What's that common factor that they have that made one suck and the other one get better? It's like this glowing light right above it. Orange and red and yellow. And...
Orange for sure.
But he's not on the show, so I'm not even going to talk about him.
Yeah, we do not speak his name when unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, just that a show headlined by LT and Bam Bam Bigelow is actually really good.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd was hot for the stuff that they should have been hot for.
And now for a look back even further into the history of wrestling.
The dusty finish.
Tatsumi Fujinami had held the IWGP Heavyweight Championship for 10 months when New Japan Pro Wrestling was set to hold the first wrestling event at the brand new Tokyo Dome. Fujinami would vacate the title to participate in the one-night single elimination tournament that would happen at Battle Satellite on April 24th, 1989. Tatsumi would lose to Big Van Vader in the semifinals, with Vader then defeating Shinya Hashimoto to become the fourth IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Big Van Vader, born 1955 in California, into a military family, would grow up competing in shot put, wrestling, and football. He would earn a scholarship to the University of Colorado before being drafted into the NFL, where he would unfortunately never play a down after he ruptured a patella and forced to retire. Vader would be spotted at the gym and offered a chance to be trained in professional wrestling, where he would get his first exposure in the AWA in 1985. He would make his way to New Japan by 87, where he would defeat Antonio Inoki in a match that caused a riot from the crowd that would get the promotion banned from the Sumo Hall for a couple of years. Vader would maintain a top spot in New Japan for many years before transitioning to WCW and eventually WWF, before having runs in All Japan and Noah to end his career. For his accomplishments, Vader has been inducted into the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame. A month after winning the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, Vader would face a Russian that had skyrocketed up the promotion for his first defense.
Man, I want to watch this Battle Satellite show. I'm like, Vader and Shinya in 89?
I believe a couple of those matches are on the network.
I know, I immediately was like,
World.
I might have to, this sounds great. And Shinya in 89 too. It's like, I didn't know he was...
Who's this skyrocket in Russian?
We'll have to find out the next time.
Is it Tony Borga?
No, but we have seen him before.
Okay.
Think of all the Russians that we've seen.
Or I guess if it's still the 80s.
Is Nikita coming back?
So it's not Borga.
It's not Nikita. We only saw him one time.
Really?
Yeah. Next week, 3-way dance.
Ooh.
Motown Philly back again.
I don't want to go back to Philly yet. I'm having so much fun in places with different food.
It's ECW, I'd imagine.
That's
right.
right.
I imagine this is in our 2300 arena, the ECW
Absolutely.
arena, the building that Beer and Piss built.
Correct.
Make it sound so glamorous.
I mean, I've heard the stories.
But we'll have a few surprises on that show. That'll be fun to see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always interested, and ECW continues to basically get better. We're on a pretty good run at the moment here in '95 in ECW. So
does that mean I bring like that? What is it called? 3-way chili or whatever that they have at Coney Island, where you get like noodles and stuff in it.
Oh, like that's a Cincinnati thing, I thought.
Is it? I don't know.
That's like the Cincinnati chili, and I think it's like I don't know. Whatever.
I hear something with 3.
Yeah.
Or dances or I don't know. Great. Who knows? Maybe we won't have official Philly food. Maybe we'll have something inspired by the show.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, maybe we'll Google.
It's getting tough.
Maybe we'll find out what Paulie Dangerously's...
It's your segment, bro. You can do whatever you want with it.
Maybe we'll find out what Paulie Dangerously's favorite food is, because it's got to be good with the way he's packed it on over the years.
Music from this week's show is Wrestlemania, the instrumental version by Mike Stock and Peter Waterman. And fun fact here, Lawrence Taylor actually comes out to Bam Bam by Jim Johnston.
Bam!
Which
Bam!
becomes Bam Bam's music.
Huh. But Bam Bam's already come out to it before.
They add the Bam Bam.
Oh.
And then the music that Taylor comes out to is his music.
They just took the Bam Bam out for his. That's funny. It's a good song. Not much happens, but I do like it.
It's basically there's a saxophone in it that literally
they just added a little bit.
It's a different version.
But it's the same.
But it's the same
composition
song.
Or whatever. Yeah. It's just like, oh, we took out the Bam Bam and added a little bit of hot sax.
Yeah. I just thought it was a really fun little note.
I don't remember it from the show, but I'll have to.
They actually play the actual song on the network.
Yeah, it's a Jim Johnston, so they got to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm when this one drops, I'll have to go back and check it out.
If you like this episode or any of our other ones, please go out there and rate and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you find your podcast at. You can always email us with any questions, comments, concerns,
recipes.
If you have anything from Philly, if you have anything that...
If you know of a
something that's inspired by dances or three-ways, we'll take it.
Yeah, we're going to get to the point where it's like, well, it's
watch
called...
what you ask for there. You might get something unexpected.
Food-wise, guys. Food-wise. I mean, if you have a hookup with Jenny McCarthy and a three-way...
Is she on your preview list?
I haven't asked, but she might be.
Yeah, but I'm gonna force the hand.
But you can always do that at WrestlingHistoryX@gmail.com or find us on Twitter at WrestlingHistoX. That's Wrestling HISTO. We'll talk to you next week.
Laters.
Oh, like Bam Bam. Yeah.